G'day everyone, Matt from Nevermind Adventure Tours, back again. Going to do something different today, and it's all about Sri Lanka. So I'm going to hold the mic up because I'm not convinced these bloody things are working, these Rode mics. So uh, normally I have it on my shirt. I'm going to hold it in my hand, so hopefully the audio is better on this video. So this to you, the unsuspecting viewer, audience, may look like a scrap of fish and chip paper or butcher's paper or an A0 screwed up piece of paper with a lot of rubbish on it. But I found this in my suitcase and I thought, what a great way to talk about Sri Lanka. So, one of the things, you might have read it in an email recently. I've been reading about Plato and a story about Plato's cave. It's about I don't think it's a true story, but it could be. But millions of years ago, probably thousands of years ago. Let's be honest. I don't know. Um, Plato come up with this story to illustrate the nature of reality. I don't want to get too philosophical, but he said, once upon a time there was a bunch of people. They were slaves, and they were chained up inside a cave, and there was a fire burning behind them. Right, so and they grew up all through their life, and they never knew the world outside behind them. The world they knew was the reflection on the cave wall of the shadows from the fire behind them. So, these fires are burning behind them. You can imagine they're looking this way. There could be people walking behind them, whatever. It was just their own shadows. But on the cave wall, it looked like demons, monsters, giants. And one day, one of them is set free, and he turns around very fearfully at first, but wanders off into the distance and has a look around outside the cave and just sees, he's startled at first. He's like, "Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's the colours, the nature. We're free." And turns out, I don't even think they were chained up. They were just sort of raised that way. I think it's a bit like when you have like the pet elephant or a horse or something. You have a rope on its leg when it's young, and you can just cut the rope loose, and it still thinks it's tied up. So I think like that. And he went back to the guys and girls in the cave and said, "I think you should all just get up and walk away. I'll set you free and come out into the real world and see what's going on. Everything you've believed your whole life to be the world is just an illusion." So. And I thought of a lot of our bike tours, particularly Sri Lanka, like that. I mean, even myself, I had the first time I went, for a lot of years I put it off. I was doing so much in other parts of the world. I thought, Sri Lanka is just more of the same. So I just thought, no, one day. And then Sri Lanka grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and dragged me there and put me on a motorbike, and I rode around and went, it was the same sort of thing. My eyes were opened. I was like, oh my God, it is nothing like what I expected. And everyone I take there on motorbikes is exactly the same. Just goes, oh my God, it just is not what I expected. It's not like India. It's not just a small tropical island. It's so much more. So, just keep that in your mind if you're sort of thinking, nah, not Sri Lanka. Highly recommend it. Life-changing experience for me. I can't tell you how many laps of that island I've done, how many hundreds of people I've taken now, but never had any complaints. Quite the opposite. Everyone just raves about it and is so grateful for having had the experience. So, this map sort of highlights that. This is what we do at the end of the trip. All we've done here is Nevermind March 2026, the Retrobrates tour. So we've obviously, got 2 weeks on the bike. We've become pretty familiar with each other and started calling each other all sorts of things. Retrobrates was one of them, thanks to the big man himself, Greg James, who's coming up the Himalayas with me next week. So, but anyway, we map it out, because if I do this at the start of the bike trip, no one knows what I'm talking about. But at the end, we do this together, and we draw pictures, and we have a few drinks, and we have a good laugh. And it's just silly stuff. Like looks like someone's drawn a spliff or something there. This is a bottle of extra special coconut arak, which is an incredible drink. It's super cheap. Bottle of that shared amongst 3 or 4 people, and you're in for a bloody good night. We talk about Malu Malu and a boat trip here. That's a pirate ship bar that they've got at the beach resort there that we always like to hang out in. blue buses, the Blue Devils and Red Devils. You know what that'll mean if you ever come to Sri Lanka. But just lots of stuff. Pump 750 ml water bottle. So one of our guys, Lance, he lost his water bottle, and I thought he was joking. He said, "Matt, I've left my water bottle somewhere. Like, can we go and find it?" And I was like, "Are you serious? Like one of those plastic disposable water bottles from the servo?" He goes, "Yeah, I've had that one for years, and it really means a lot to me." And I was at first I thought, no bloody way. But then I thought, just for a laugh, I grabbed one of the boys, one of my Sri Lankan boys. I said, just scoot up back to this spot where I reckon it is. And sure enough, it was there. We come back and we held on to it for a couple of days, and we presented it to him. We had a little ceremony. So Lance is reunited with his plastic pump 750 ml water bottle, and haven't heard from Lance in a while. Actually, if you're listening, Lance, I hope you're doing well. We got Cigaria Line Rock. That says there's a line there. All sorts of stuff. I won't go into too much detail. Negombo. So the ride itself, we fly into, the airport's about here. And the flights are great. It's a direct flight from Melbourne and Sydney. It's only about 10 hours. Sri Lankan Airways, I reckon, do a fantastic job. And we travel down to Gaul, Rockfort here. Rockfort, we're famous for their cold beers and their seaside swimming pool, and their hospitality is probably the best in Sri Lanka. They try hard anyway. Sinharaja rainforest, only a short day, but we ride down this way and then up into the mountains. Beautiful, stunning ride. Great. That's the first day on the bikes. Back down to Hirakatia the next day. One of the most beautiful beach definitely in Sri Lanka. Wow, one of. There's so many of them. Probably the world. Goyamboka, Tengol, beautiful places. Out to Yala, we saw plenty of wild leopard there, elephant, you name it. And then up to Allah, a couple of nights up here, right in the middle, up in the mountains. So you can see it's all tropical coastline here. We're going way up, riding through the clouds up here. So back down to Aragon Bay, the Bells Beach of Sri Lanka, and then follow the east coast right up to the top, and we come down through the middle, back up into the mountains. This whole section's quite elevated, and then back down to the coast. And that takes us 2 weeks of pretty solid riding. So, check it out. Check out the itinerary online. I think this is actually a picture of me playing guitar, jamming in Nuwaralia. The band was up and handed me the guitar, and thought I'd give it a crack. Played a bit of it was Long Way to the Top by AC/DC. Had the whole place dancing. Fantastic night. Pretty good guitar player. Pretty good at everything, really. Those on the trip will agree with me. There's a bit of an insider joke there. But yeah, there's a lot going on in Sri Lanka. It's just incredible. So if you're watching this, you've probably hit us up and said, send me some more information. And or you could have just clicked on our YouTube channel and thought, this guy looks like a clown, I'll listen to it. Get amongst it. We offer a money-back guarantee. That's how confident we are in all of our tours. So we're also now working with Fat V Jerky. They're a local mob here in Geelong. So the reason I like that, I've got in with these guys because everywhere I go, a lot of the places, I don't think Sri Lanka does seafood great. All its tucker is sensational, but I sort of steer away from meat products. Their chicken's okay. I take a bag of jerky with me, and if I get some noodles or something, I'll just chuck some in there. Bit of chicken, bit of noodle soup, veggie noodle soup, chuck a few bits of jerky in there. Bloody beautiful. Same in the Himalayas and in India. Great healthy snack for when you're on the road or on the plane. And the guys do it better than anyone, I think. Fat V Jerky. And so you can click on the link on our website. You can actually buy it. When you book, we send you out a sample. And they do us a really good deal too. So I recommend checking those guys out. And if you do book a trip, grab some, take it with you. I'm better than eating junk food like, potato chips and rubbish. So, yeah, thought I'd announce that. That should be on our website soon. We've got these new winter edition Nevermind t-shirts. We're doing the 2 for $60. If you're watching this, that'll end, let's say, the end of July 2026. So if you're watching this down the track, you missed out. But we'll have some other deals up, so just hit us up. We're always keen to get a few of our T-shirts out there. We love seeing people wearing them, and we always throw a bit of a surprise in too when you buy a T-shirt from us. That includes postage, 2 for $60, so it's pretty bloody good. And they're high quality T-shirts made right here in Geelong. I'm not going to waffle on too much more. I've been doing a lot of these videos lately. I don't know if anyone watches them or not, but I'm home heading to the Himalayas next week, so I thought, while I'm here, I'll just do a bit of YouTubing and see what happens. So we've got Poland after the Himalayas in September. I think it might be 1 or 2 spots left on that. Then Sri Lanka, October, so 16th of October. That's what we're going to start pumping that one now. So there's 3 or 4 spots left on that. They're going to fill up soon. Great group of guys. We've got Don, the farmer from Geraldton, just got off the phone to him actually, and his son are coming. Bunch of great people from all over Australia. No one from overseas yet. We haven't quite cracked the US market yet. We've tapped into the UK market a bit. We've got a few regulars from there. So if you know anyone in the US, pass this on to them. Let's see how they go. Let's get a bit of that USD in our account. It'd be going good. We could all do with a bit of that here in Australia at the moment. Signing off, www.nevermindadventuretours.com.au/Sri Lanka. Email me, matt@nevermindadventuretours.com.au, and say, I watched your video and you said you'd give me a special deal for Sri Lanka. And if I can, I will. If I can't, I won't. But yeah, I'll try and look after you. Special YouTube special just for putting up with this rubbish for 10 minutes or so. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.